when you are color grading, right, the way you set up your scenes and your shots is very important on the final result of what your image is going to look like ultimately.
You know what you race on these tracks. Yeah, I spit the truth, nigga, who you? Give me the loot, ooh. My fluke get bodies dancing, now they doing the shoot, ooh. I need more checks, don't gas, don't last. I follow the ways of finesse. Being had heads like these, you need to come and shop from the mob. I wanna.
So before I start this video, I'm currently shooting on the M50 using a speed booster made by Veltrox, and I actually found a glitch on this camera. You can actually, right now, the aperture of this lens is actually 1.8, but equipped with the speed booster, it makes it 1.2. And I actually found a glitch that works. I think it's a glitch. I don't know if anybody else experiences this. I don't experience this when I use this camera on the speed booster on the GH5, but I do with the Veltrox attached to the M50. So look, it gets a little bit brighter as I try to take away the vignette on the sides there. As you can see on the sides, there's a vignette there, there's one there, and there's two on the bottom. As I zoom in, trying to take those out, it gets brighter right there. Now, my aperture is at 125. I'm still at f2, but this is brighter. So technically, if I'm in a situation where I needed more light, this could technically do that. So what I'm going to try to do now is see if I can increase my ISO while recording, since it made me brighter. So technically, I should be able to get a cleaner image. It's a hack, bro, and I'll explain why it's a hack. So my ISO is down to 200. I'm gonna increase my shutter speed real quick. That's not so bad. This is a pretty clean image. Let me put it back to 1/160th. This isn't so bad. Maybe I could bump my ISO just slightly one up. So I'm just testing out this hack that I pretty much just stumbled onto. Like I said, I don't know if it's even actually a legal hack, but it works. This is ISO 100 at f1.2 with my shutter speed at 1/80th. Now when I move the camera, you'll see just how much darker it actually gets. Look at that. That is crazy. That is such a ridiculous significant difference. Holy moly. I'm gonna go into an even darker environment. I want to see just how well this works. So this is where we at when I move it. Wow, guys, I'm not doing anything to adjust my I'm not doing anything at all to adjust my aperture. So this is a hack. I have no idea if this works on other cameras. Like I said, I have not experienced this with my GH5. This is pretty cool. Now, of course, I still get the vignette. I think what's happening, oh, okay, I see. If you look in the center, when I pointed to the wall, if you look in the center right here, there's this big globe of circle. So I think it's a disconnect. Okay, that makes sense. There's a disconnect between the sensor, the glass, and the mirror inside that's making it do that. Wow, okay. Okay. But it still works. It's not something I would use all the time, but if you really need that extra bump, it really does increase the quality. If you really need that extra light just to make your image look good, why not? Go for it. Look at this. Let me see. Ooh. There's definitely a difference. I would only use that if I absolutely needed the light. Because this looks good. This is perfect. Like, I would distribute this as a final image. But if I need that extra light, you're good. You're pretty much getting the same effect. It's very noticeable now that I figured out what's going on, but interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, Hope you guys, I want to know if anyone else has experienced this. Is this happening to your Veltrox speed booster? And any other lenses? I'm yet to try it with another lens. It might work, it might not, I have no idea. But now that I know I could do this, I'm definitely going to utilize it in low light situations when I need. Especially if you're shooting a low light situation where the person is still, that circle in the center, you don't really see it as much. So it just works, you know. Yeah, but it's definitely better if you don't need to use it. Like this looks way better. There's no other way to describe it. Let me try to see if I can mimic that look with the extra light. There'll be no need. Wow. There'll be no need, but this is dope, bro. Yeah. And that brings me to the point of this video, guys. The way you set up your scenes and your shots is very important on the final result of what your image is going to look like ultimately. So some people think look is color grading as, oh, I'm just going to go out and shoot and then color grade it later. Yes, that works. That could work. But in a more professional environment or type of situation, you really want your images to be, or your scenery to look the way it's going to be color graded. For example, if you're going to make your background green, for example, you know, think about adding stuff like get a green light. Any green, it doesn't even, the type of light matters up to a certain degree. Sometimes you just need the light to give your film the look that it needs. So why don't you just get a green light, for example, maybe get some haze and you put some haze in the background, you add some green. It's really going to change the way that image looks. So lighting is one of the biggest things. But let me go back into this again. I see that the vignette isn't all the way out. I'm gonna try and take out more of the vignette. See, when I try to do it, it goes back to normal. Look, see? So I actually like the way that looked. I'm gonna increase this back to 250. I don't know why it does that, but that's pretty cool. But it does. I could in post-production increase it. Now here we go. Wow. So okay, this is not the ideal situation. I actually like the hacked mod. So as you guys can see, this is very interesting. So I figured out a way to get even more light on the M50 if you have the speed booster using, I don't know if it only works with this lens, I have no idea, but right there. So if I was shooting at night, I would literally do just that. It kind of gives your image a certain glow. I don't know where the glow is coming from, but on the corners, in the center, doesn't seem to do so much. See, it's mainly in the outer edges, which again isn't so bad. That's pretty cool. Alright, but I'm gonna set it up how I want it actually and not use that hack current right now, because it does make the center a little bit darker than I feel like it needs to be. This is absolutely perfect. I still see the vignettes, but I could work with that. Now, there are many ways to color grade your scenes. One of the first ways that I like to use, I've been using recently, has been Photoshop. And in Photoshop, it's something called the camera raw filter. So what you do is take a screenshot of your footage in Premiere Pro or whatever program that you're using, take it into Photoshop, and then you apply the camera raw effect on it. You edit the image just like you would any raw picture or JPEG image. It's very easy to do. It doesn't always work out perfectly though, because sometimes it'll look good in the actual program, but when you drag it into your image, some parts are going to be more exposed than others or lower, so you still have to apply it as a LUT and use it carefully and not just crank it all the way up to 100. It's just not going to look right, especially if you're using the same LUT for multiple videos. Don't do that. Next, what else? I'm freeballing this, so I don't have anything structurally down. I'm just kind of writing, talking to the camera. What else? Let me see. I haven't dived into DaVinci Resolve yet too much, but I definitely want to, eventually start getting into more advanced color grading.